Pine Ridge Indian Reservation is on the sort of southwest side of South Dakota, right on the border with Nebraska. And it historically was part of the Great Sioux Reservation, which took up a huge area of the northern Midwest there. But over the years, it has dwindled down to, a fraction of what it used to be. Although it still is, a decent size. It works out at somewhere in the region of 3,500 square miles of land. It's the 8th largest reservation in the United States. It's larger than, say, Delaware or Rhode Island combined. Shannon County and Jackson County make up the bulk of it, and they're two of the poorest counties in the United States. I mean, in reality, Shannon County normally comes bottom historically in the censuses over the decades. And it's very difficult to estimate exactly how many people are on there. I mean, it varies from census figures and whatnot. I mean, the highest sort of figure for enrolled members is roughly around the 38,000 mark. And it comprises the Oglala Lakota, the Oglala band of the Lakota. And, it really is truly an extraordinary place. I mean, the history there, most famously, Wounded Knee lies there, the source or the location of the infamous massacre of 1890, where the 7th Cavalry massacred about 350, mostly women and children. And also the Wounded Knee occupation of 73, where over 71 days the American Indian movement sort of occupied the area with a lot of residents there as well. And over the 71 days, the U.S. government, by their own figures, fired approximately 500,000 bullets in on those activists. And a couple of the American Indian movement people there, or locals, one was a local, were killed by the government bullets. And then a couple of years later, there was the Oglala shootout between some FBI agents and American Indian movement people, and one AIM member was killed and 2 FBI agents were killed. And ever since, Leonard Peltier has been in jail for being accused of killing the agents, although everyone on the reservation and beyond knows that it was a gross miscarriage of justice. Some people estimate that housing is about 17 people on average per house, which is on invariably a trailer house that's barely holding itself together. And I personally had the head of the Bureau of Indian Affairs a few years ago tell me that housing was only 4% funded, in terms of they only had 4% of the money that it would take to get it up to a kind of livable standard. There's a town on its edge which apparently has a per capita income average about $1,500 a year, which is a fifth of Namibia's. And men have a life expectancy there of their mid-40s, which is actually lower than any country on earth if you take AIDS, malaria, and war out of those statistics. But it's many things. It's a dysfunctional place, but it's also a magical place. People there have an incredibly hard life, but there's also a lot of laughter to be heard. And a lot of the elder women in particular that I've met there over the years have been probably the strongest individuals I've ever met in my lifetime. They also have been recorded in Shannon County as having the highest percentage voting Democrat of any county in the whole United States. Although ironically, I think a lot of people there wonder what anyone in any of the political parties give them.